Hello, my creative cookies! Today I tried to make abstract art with soap bubbles. That sounds messy and fun, right? So let's start! For this art experiment I use my ink colors. But first I'm saving my work area because today it will be very colorful. I hope the rest of my room will stay clean. Please hold your thumbs for my room. For the first technique I need per color one bowl to catch the color. In this bowl I put a glass that I'm filling with water. Then I give a lot of dish soap into it. I hope the color of the dish soap will not destroy the ink. As last step I'm using the ink. I start with my green ink. Now I take a straw. Do you remember your old good childhood when you were drinking cocoa with a straw and you were blowing into the drink? Exactly, that technique I'm using now. For that I was inspired doing a workshop where I was drawing on ceramic with a friend. They had some techniques you could try out. And I tried this technique and I really loved the pattern. Of course, I asked myself, can I use that on paper? What can I make artistically wise with that? Here I am, testing it. The first try is on layout paper for alcohol markers. And of course I want to try it with more colors. Maybe it would have been a good idea when I had to choose a specific mix like 100 ml water and 50 ml dish soap. That would be a clear experimental design. Now it's too late. Next time I will think about that. I hope so. So I'm choosing the blue color. Being honest, the layout paper is a little bit too thin for this kind of art technique. Now I'm testing the technique with aquarelle paper. I want more colors. The result is so much better. Being honest, I'm not surprised. Aquarelle color paper is so different from layout paper. And of course aquarelle color paper is sucking water, so it's perfect for this very waterful technique. Another two, thin sketching paper test. Now I'm testing this brown one. Well, the result is totally different. So you see how important it is to choose the right paper for your art piece. An aquarelle paper test with another brand and a bigger size. The soap bubbles look so beautiful on the paper. And this art process is really a lot of fun and it looks like crystals. The soap bubbles on the paper looks like a dreamy, funny world. It's really a fun project. Short interim summary. With this technique I had the best result on the first watercolor paper, the worst on the brown paper. I can't see any structure on the brown one. But now it's time for the second technique. I want to try to work with real uncontrollable soap bubbles. I'm a little bit scared about my room, but the good thing is that there's no wind in this room, so the soap bubbles shouldn't fly away. I tried it and, well, I'm creating a lot of speckles. That was not my goal. I had another result in my mind. I guess it would be possible to create such a speckle result with other techniques more easily, so that you also didn't have to clean that much and so on. I didn't like this technique that much and I also disliked the result. I'm really a fan of the first technique of these biologically structures. It's really like creating a soap bubble print. My first plan as a third step was to create a mix of both techniques and use them on bigger paper, but I decided just to use the first technique. On this big white thin cardboard it worked very well. I really love the result, so I was going on to have a lot of fun with this technique. In my opinion, working this technique on bigger size make it even more interesting. I also could imagine to try it with white ink on black paper. That could be interesting. And I also would like to test it with other kinds of color than ink. I really can imagine this technique very good for backgrounds. But then it was time to clean clean the table and show my results. Ugh, the newspaper didn't help everywhere. That had to happen, right? Right. And these are my prints of today. Did I escalate it a little bit? Maybe, but some of them I made also as a background for a further project. But now I'm still not sure if I really will use them for that, because somehow I really like them. I mean, they do not have a big saying to the world, but sometimes it's okay just having fun with art. Doesn't have to be always the big metaphor that would change the world. These are the layout paper results, very wobbly. The big cardboard results, I love them. They are very nice. The results of the second technique I was trying, yeah, I dislike them. And here I was doing some smaller ones with the aquarelle paper to use them maybe for further art pieces. We will see. And these ones, I didn't film everything, were ended up quite interesting. I was running out of the other aquarelle paper, so I used this aquarelle paper. These are both two cheap brands, so it still was very different to the other paper. And with more patience to let the bubbles dry on the paper, I got these interesting abstract forms. I really love them. They look like a map. They really look like fantasy maps. That's amazing. See you next time!